What's up, guys? Welcome to another video. Happy to have you on here. So one industry which is very complex and cumbersome is the finance industry. And so when it comes down to accounting and managing finances, there are just so many records, like billions of records, which are processed on a daily basis. And so you have accountants in virtually every company who are in charge of ensuring that these transactions are done very well and that these transactions are coherent. And so this is a very tedious work that a lot of companies have to go through, and they have to employ a lot of people and they have to give them a lot of time to ensure that the finances are on point. And so with AI really taking over a lot of industry, this is one of those industries, or this is one of those sectors which really needs AI, because there's just so much work to be done here. Virtually in all companies, you have to calculate the salaries, you have to calculate the transactions coming in and going out, and ensure that they are regular, that they are normal, that they are on point, and that the accounts are balanced. You don't want money getting missing, and money can easily get lost just from a wrong digit being inputted in maybe an Excel file lost down somewhere on the pipeline. And so one of the industries that will really welcome AI automation is the finance industry and accounting. And so today we are going to be looking at some of the tools and some of the companies trying to address that problem. So we are going to be looking today at multiple AI assistants for Excel. And so in order to manage finances and in order to do these financial transactions or these financial computations, Excel is one of the best tools. So definitely there are other accounting specialized softwares out there, but Excel still remains, I think, one of the most widely used accounting tool. But basically, experts and beginners can all make use of Excel. And so if you have opened an Excel sheet before, you would have noticed its design and just how cumbersome it can be. Definitely, Excel does have formulas which really make the tasks a lot easier, but it still remains very difficult to map out charts and ensure that records are correct and on point. And so AI will be definitely welcome in this sector. That's just what I'm trying to say. And so today we're going to be looking at some tools which are going to help in that. So the first tool we're going to see is Carousel, the AI assistant for Excel. Build Excel models in minutes and not hours. So from my personal experience working with Excel and financial transactions, it's like very difficult to input the data, to work out the data, to extract the data, to draw charts. It can really take a lot of time. So you really need experts, you really need a lot of accountants to really get everything right. And so definitely, I personally will be welcoming this. So here you have an AI agent tool, which basically allows you to control your Excel files. You can just use a simple prompt to give instructions to the AI, and it is going to build the tool it needs to build. So let's see, for example, here you can see on your Excel file, you have a right column that appears with a panel where you can input your different prompts, and as you can see, the data is getting generated to the left. So you just input plain text in English and the data gets generated to the left. So it's generating directly into the Excel sheet. So this is what this tool allows us to do, Carousel. It allows us to control our Excel file. So you can just say anything you need is going to do that, whether it's to build charts, whether it's to input data, whether it's to correct data, whether that is to add calculations, any operation you need. This is an AI agent. It is going to do just that. I think you can see from the video here how the data is getting created instantly and the prompts. Unfortunately, the video is kind of very zoomed out, so it's difficult to see the prompts that they are sending in. But using this tool, we can get a test of it. So you can go ahead straight away to usecarousel.com and you can go ahead and download it, and you can have a sneak peek at how it works. So here we're just seeing some videos. So you can see some features that are listed out. Control Enter to select surgical precision, instruction history, and so on. Model walkthrough, detail formula breakdowns, insightful labels, not cell addresses, navigate precedents and dependents. Yes, so you can see it really gives us an idea of how this tool works, So you're able to format your Excel files, you're able to add data, manipulate the data, and the option for chat mode is still coming soon. So yeah, here you have it: bank level security, ROI guarantee, customize functionality, 24/7 support. And so I think even this presentation doesn't really make it justice, because the power of this tool is quite amazing. And in the next tool we're going to see, we're going to have a test of it. So for this one, you need to download the software. I'm not trying to really do that right now. So we are going to see how it works in our next tool. So there are really already a lot of tools coming up. For example, there's this other one, Excel Easy, the ultimate AI Excel tools platform. But I personally don't use this one as well. You could also have GPTExcel, AI-powered spreadsheet automation, formulas, pivot tables, charts, and data insights. So I've used this one personally, but I find its design a little bit different and less intuitive. For example, here you'll be talking with the AI, all right, but the AI is going to be generating you files. And so you'll be generating you files. You have to copy the files back into the AI and prompt it. It's going to generate files again. Then you have to open them externally, and so on and so forth. So I don't find it intuitive. So I would have preferred if the interfaces were like on the previous tool we saw, Carousel, where you have a prompt to the right or to the left, and then you can easily see your changes. So in our next tool, we are going to see just that. So we have here Quadratic. Quadratic is exactly what we need. So we have our prompts where we can input our data, where we can input, our text in English, and it's going to generate our spreadsheet, and it's going to generate the modifications that we instruct it to. So it comes with so many additional features which are very, very interesting. So for example, right off here, you can see that you can connect directly your databases, your Postgres, MySQL, Superbase, BigQuery, and many others here. You can connect them directly to this tool, and you'll be able to query the database and extract the data from which you can easily manipulate. So let's go ahead and try something. You're just going to generate random data to see how it works. So generate the data for a store's sales over a period of 1 month. The store sells groceries, for example. So we go ahead and do that. Then it is going to generate our data. So just from that simple prompt that we sent, it's going to now generate the data that we instructed it to. So as you can see here, this interface is much more intuitive. So you have the left side where you can input your prompts, and on the right side, you can directly see your Excel sheet. So as you can see, it comes with so many options that we can explore. You can upload your own files. If you have Excel files, you can upload them directly. You can connect your databases so that it extracts the data directly from your database. You have options to share this page so that others can view the page as well through a link or an invite. You also have the option to directly download the data. So you have the download the data here. You can download it in the grid format or the Excel format, or even the CSV format. So you can have multiple sheets. There's no limitation. You can have multiple sheets, and the AI agent can query all of the sheets at the same time. So yes, you can. Then you have the basic Excel editing options: edit, view, insert, format, and so on. You can input formulas and so on and so forth. So there you have it. After a couple of seconds, it generated me data that I instructed it to. So you can see here, it added the dates, the products, the category, and the unit. So yes, so if you look to the left, you can see a little bit of a description of what it did. It explains to you what it added, what it subtracted, and so on and so forth. So you can easily just determine the data. You understand why it puts which data. So you can see here you have the columns: dates, products, category, units sold, price, and total revenue. So you can see it here. That's how it generated it. If you want to modify something, you can also instruct it as well that modify this. If you want to update some values, you can instruct it directly to do just that. So for example, let's just do this. Let's ask it for the total income for that month. And can you add the total income formula at the bottom of the total revenue column to calculate the total income for that month. I don't really need to be this precise, but yeah, you can add a little more precision so it knows what to do. So as you can see, it went ahead and added the formula to calculate the total income. So if we click here, you can see that it's a formula. It's not just a value. So it added the formula and you can see all what it adds. So as you can see there. So we can do so much. You can edit this file. So let's continue and try even more. So can you add a chart which shows the variation in units sold, unit price, and total revenue. So I'm not even sure what this chart is going to look like, but I just wanted to plot a chart with these 3 columns there and put in some data. So let's see. So if you notice, it uses Python to do a lot of its work here. So it's very interesting. So as you can see, with AI, we can now control Excel sheets. We can now do finance management. We can now do accounting very easily. So you can see he plotted a chart. I'm not even sure what the unit sold, variations, unit price, and so on. And so this is not a typical chart for this particular data, but I just wanted to show you that you can plot charts as well. So basically anything you want to do, you can do it. So you can just ask it, do this, do that, manipulate my data, and so on and so forth. And as you can see, it is really responsive. I mean, it does it in an instant quite amazingly. So so yeah, it's very interesting. So I really like this. Here you have it now, an AI agent which can run your accounting, which can help you manage your Excel data, and which can help you really calculate or your Excel sheet and your finances very easily. So you can imagine a company or multiple companies out there who have like a lot of data that they have to analyze and manage quite difficultly every month. And so with such a tool, you can enter in the data. For example, you have the option to add a PDF where you can record in the data. You can record the data. You can ask it to take maybe the information from these screenshots or these PDFs. You can add images as well, screenshots of this PDF, and put them into the table. So you're just speaking to the AI agent like you would be speaking to an accountant or anybody. So you say input this data, calculate the data this way, and just give it the simple instructions and it's going to follow it. So I really am impressed by this tool and how efficient it is. And I definitely think a lot more people should be aware of this. So you equally have access to the codes, the formulas, the code, the JavaScript that it uses. You equally have access to connect your database. You have multiple settings out there. So this is really amazing. And a fine touch here is that you can equally change to dark modes. So that's just a fine touch for those who prefer that. So yeah, so there you have it, an AI agent that can run your Excel files and then can run your accounting. Definitely check it out at QuadraticHQ.com. Give it a shot. Try to put in your data. Try to run some queries on your data, the total. Maybe look for inconsistencies. Maybe look for problems, and so on and so forth. You can easily manipulate your data. Obviously, it's definitely not 100% accurate. It definitely will have a hard time manipulating millions of lines of code. Like right now, we just have 32 lines, so that's not huge data, but millions of lines of code will definitely take a long while to run. And this is definitely a paid software. I think I'm not really sure the model of payment for this. Maybe you can just check that out right now. We're going to go to let's go back to Quadratic. Okay, yeah, so checking out the pricing. Okay, you see, it's free for now for individuals working on their own data and analysis, limited AI usage, limited sharing. So it definitely has a generous free plan, and then you can upgrade to $18 per user per month, billed annually, with 10 to 20 times higher AI limits, shared team workspace, and unlimited sharing. And then for enterprises, you can request a custom quote. So for self-hosted, you can equally get a self-hosted version with unlimited connections, unlimited files, limited support, and 3 seats. for enterprises testing. Yeah, so they definitely got some very interesting solutions out here. So this is very interesting. I think a lot of companies might be interested in this as well. So yeah, I feel intrigued by this free trial. I kind of want to see what it comes with. Documentation seems very cumbersome, so we'll get back to that, but definitely check this out. This is an amazing tool, and I think it's going to help a lot of accountants out there. Test it out and let me know what you think about this in the comment sections. Thank you.